Select the team you want to join. Don't worry, you'll be able to choose the role you plan in just a second. Start your season with recommended settings. If you wish to change roles or adjust options, use the tiles on the right.
The Texans are now on the clock. 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 The Texans are now on the clock.
Kick off your week by installing your game plan. Start the regular season by selecting your season goal. Meeting your season goal gives high rewards, but does come with risk. Kick off your week by installing your game plan. everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Bears going up against the Texans. With that, let's get on over to Houston, as we're proud to introduce our new broadcast team for 2016, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Good luck, fellas.
Larry, it is indeed an honor to be here. Thank you as we welcome the rest of you inside NRG Stadium here in Houston. Today, the opener of the 2016 NFL season between the Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans. A partner, the Bears coming off a 6-10 season. Meanwhile, the Texans, last year AFC South champions, but an ugly wild card round loss.
Not a lot of fun in that game. That wasn't their best, and we're talking about Houston. So they fortified themselves in the offseason and increased their roster. They think they're the team to beat in their division. And flip it over to the Bears, they're trying to get back to playing Bears football, which means getting better on defense.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. To throw is Wentz, eluding the pressure right. And incomplete to open things up. Second down following the incompletion. Wentz will try again on second down. Flushed out right. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Wentz now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. And here are the Chicago defensive starters.
When at his best, Orlando Scandrick is one of the top nickel cornerbacks in the NFL.
Ten yards still left on second down. Now the first NFL carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He's a second-round pick, a solid second-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
Really, it's a solid draft class from a year ago. They were able to address some key weak spots on their team and fill in some holes.
And they were able to identify the players they wanted early in the process. Got a little bit of luck, as some guys may have fallen to them. But for the most part, knew their philosophy and stuck to it.
A first down carry by Elliott. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And, Charles, we get a look here at the key inactives, and I tell you what, a big list for being this early in the season.
If there's any silver lining at all, you're hoping you can get these guys back, and now you'll play well down the stretch with them. But what you're also hoping is that the guys who have to play for them, the next man up mentality kicks in, and those guys take care of business.
Wentz to throw on second down. Flush to his right. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Throwing on first is Wentz. His throw incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
I think we can make this one pretty simple. That was a rookie mistake made by the rookie quarterback, trying to force a pass without really using proper mechanics.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. He's able to get 6, a nice pickup down to the 21.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. And this is going to be incomplete.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. And the gamble fails. It's incomplete.
I know coaches always tell us that they make decisions about these types of plays, this type of a fake, earlier in the week to take the emotion out of the deal. I don't know that was really true here. This one felt... Like all of a sudden, hey, I have a feeling about it. Let's go ahead and get it, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, I know one thing. They wish they had it back.
Yeah, they certainly do, but the buck stops with the head coach on that one. He has to green light that attempt.
Now it's the Princeton man. This is Spencer Ware. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. Here's Luck now on 2nd down. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They run again with Ware. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On the ground, this is Ware. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. 2nd down following the run.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18. The big man, Vince Wilfork, able to get him down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And Folk's kick is good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They keep on the ground with Elliott. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
A big play there on the catch and run, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down. Play action. Now Wentz. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Another pass broken up, Charles, by Orlando Scandrick.
That's multiple times in this game alone, and it's something we're getting very used to seeing. Orlando Scandrick policing his area and in a big way.
To throw, it's Wentz. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 job.
And how about this, a fake? Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 43 yards. And the Texans have taken the lead. And they lulled them to sleep a little bit there on defense. They were definitely expecting the punt. They fake it, and they get 6 points.
And what a bonus for the offense, because when they faked it, I think they were just trying to get a first down with this pass. Instead, they get a touchdown.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And to the left side, Fedorowicz has it. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is.
Let me go ahead and show my age a little bit. I liked it when they would fake it from the 3-yard line, right? When you'd line up, go ahead, and there's a fake, and he's going to get 2. That's great. But from the 15, the risk-reward, it's just not there.
That's so risky to get 15 yards on a fake. Well, you see the result right there.
Yeah, I know these young whippersnappers are trying to do different things in this game, but let's go back to old reliable. Kick the ball through the post.
Get off my lawn.
That's darn right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Here's Luck. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Matt Darr to kick it away.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Beckham, the return. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Texans take possession. And here comes the Texans now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Escaping the pressure right. And his throw here's incomplete. The new acquisition, Martellus Bennett, the intended target. And it'll bring up third down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So on fourth down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. And look at this, another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Risky.
It is so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
Throwing his luck. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 19. And it'll be a Chicago first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. To throw on second down is Locke. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too.
Do you get the sense, Brandon, that people are trying to retire Antonio Gates? They keep thinking this is almost the end of the line, and then he keeps making catches like the one we just saw there.
He's the old reliable, you're right, just one of 9 players in the NFL with 100 or more touchdowns.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. And Folk's kick is good. And that will tie things up at 6-6. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
This fielded at the 2. Stiff-armed him. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened
there. You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Here's Wentz to throw, and down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
The Bears are putting extra defender in the secondary on third down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. Now Wentz on third down. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he's able to... And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. On now, the fifth-year man, Marquette King, to kick it away. Now they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Risky.
It is so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Back to the air. Luck on second down. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Jared Odrick in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have two remaining here before we get to halftime. And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on third. Back to throw. Luck surveying the field. He's going to launch this thing. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Kelvin Benjamin, 38 yards. And the Bears are in for 6. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it's fourth down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the...
And look at this, another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah. Risky.
It is so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. On second down, here's Luck. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Throwing on third down, Luck. And Tate's got it. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. Having an effective short passing game, one of their main concern coming into this one, right there, able to hit the D with a quick strike and a first down.
And you're able to put that into your game.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Antonio Gates, as the first half is winding down, and the Bears will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. And not great starting field position here for the offense. The give is to Elliott. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They go to Elliott again. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. So we've reached, yeah, that's perfect. 2, Davis, D. Hey, I got to go. Okay, and sorry about that. Didn't know Larry got cut off early. We are back and ready for the third quarter. And this will be a touchback, so a first chance here in week 1 to see the ball be brought out with the new rule to the 25-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Gates has it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
The speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Throw left side complete to Sharp. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Now it's Luck. Gates with a grab. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
On first down, it's Locke. And hauled in here by Rivera. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal. So they're operating in the red zone.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. On the run, it's Ware. And he is going to lose yardage here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
And Folk's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Here's Marquette King now in punt formation, but as we've seen, that's no guarantee he'll punt the football.
And we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. After this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment. Create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck caught on the left side by Benjamin. And give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you could actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It's a guy who played 4 years for the Bears, Julius Peppers. From his outside linebacker spot, he comes up to drop him for a loss of 10. To throw on second down is Locke. Over the middle, complete to Tate. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4.
Third and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Here's Locke. Finds his target. It's Gates. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They run it here. Where? And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. The veteran Carlos Dansby in on the stop. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Now a play fake, and it's Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Mario Williams coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Here's Beckham. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Houston. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Wentz will try again on second down. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 20 yards on the pickup there. And the Texans are going to have a first. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Really excellent job there of just going up and getting it.
Brandon, I'm a defender. I shouldn't be this excited, but what a play by the receiver downfield to elevate and make the catch.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
Rolling to his right. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Wentz to throw on second down. And this is going to be intercepted. Through an opening, and there he goes. The 40, the 30, Past the 20. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Eluding the pressure right. And his throw is incomplete. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
I know we're doing this game live, but let's step into the film room for just a second, because when they review this play, oh, the negatives are going to be incredible on this one. Rolling out to his right. Yeah, he's right-handed.
Oh, and a bad throw there.
Installing your game plan.